Power.
You try and we see.
Power and speed solves many things.
Yes.
Today, we're going to be putting the lower shells of the rod bearings in. So the way these work is you put one of these in the rod cap, slide it in, and then bolt it in there. And we're going to do the same plastic gauge like we did on the main bearings just to check the oil clearances. And once we do that, we'll put a rod cap on, check the oil clearance. If everything's good, wipe the plastic gauge off, put assembly lube on, and then bolting it down finally. At that point, we'll put all the oil pumps and stuff in as well, flip the motor over, and start taking the heads off. What we did now was we took all the rod caps and the lower rod bearings, put those on, torqued them down, did the plastic gauge, untorqued them, put assembly loop, then torqued them down again, and then make sure everything was to 50 foot-pounds, so down to spec. And then we just marked each one with just a red Sharpie just so that we knew which one we've done already. So now the motor's completely built in terms of all the rotating assembly. So we've got the oil pumps left, the oil pan left, and then the bottom end is sealed. Then we'll flip it over and get to the head.
Let's go to lunch.
Yeah. What we're doing now is we're gonna put all the stuff needed for the oil pump and the oil pump return in, and the chain as well. And after that, I think the last thing left is the gasket and the oil pan. So let's get to it.
Okay, dick nose.
Now we've got the oil pump on, the oil pump return on, both the oil pump and return feed lines. Everything's bolted in, everything's torqued to spec, the chain's in as well. All we have left to do is put the new gasket on here and slap the oil pan on, and then the bottom end's done. We were trying to put the oil pan on the car. It wouldn't fit for some reason. We couldn't kind of figure it out. Then we looked at this and thought this might be bent. So we pulled it off, put the oil pan on, and now it seals. So looking at it a little bit closer, you can see how it has that little kink there, and it's not flat at all. So I'm gonna need a new tube, and then we'll be able to seal it up. what we did was we took everything off. So there was the throttle bodies, the throttle actuators, pulled all that stuff out, and then we were left with the bare heads. So then what we did was we took the cam caps off in the order that BMW says. So what they say is do half a turn on the outer bolt on the cam cap and then half on the inner. So we did that on both cams, intake and exhaust on both the heads, and the cams just got lifted out. Then there's the little lifters that we took all of those out as well, just because I'm going to send the heads off to machine shop, just get ported, polished, and put new valve stem seals in. So once we had the lifters out, you could see all the head bolts, and so there's all of these right here is where the head bolts go. And what we ended up just doing was taking all of those out. Again, you go from the middle, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then just lift the heads off. So that's what we ended up doing. So then we got to the basically just the bare block. All the pistons were obviously dirty just from carbon buildup and whatnot. So I spent a few hours just scrubbing away, getting all of the deposits off. So you can still kind of see a little bit of the residue there, but for the most part, they're pretty clean now. And then I just took like a razor blade and a little brass brush and went on the actual deck and cleaned that off completely as well. So at this point, the heads are over there. We'll show you the heads as well. Those are going to get sent off, put new valve stem seals in. Then we're going to put new head gaskets on, put the heads back on, put new head bolts in, and complete the motor at that point. What we're gonna do today, the front subframe actually showed up. So first what we'll probably do is take all the plastics that we've taken off when we painted the engine bay. So we're gonna put all these on first, and then we'll put that transmission tunnel that's down there as well, bolt that up. And then the last thing we'll do is actually take the subframe and bolt that in as well. So I think we made quite a bit of progress today.